we need to keep an eye on our friends, neighbors, and family.
Yep.
People who are starting to profess anger through ideology that doesn't match up. Because in the end, this is what it can lead to. And it made me ask this question. Did this man believe in an ideology, or did he simply collect enough grievances to justify violence? Hi, this is TPLmedia.ca. Take a look. Maybe we are there locally for you. Go to TPLmedia.ca/local. I'm Mike. This is your weekly crime update. Joining me this week to talk about the crimes across the nation, Bradie Whetham. Thanks very much for being here, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me, my friend. I love talking about crime.
Who doesn't, right? I know it's a tough docket on a Friday, but we make it part of our weekend, every weekend, just to give an idea of what's been going on across the country. Item number one, off the top, of course, the deadly shooting of police in both Toronto and Montreal. This week, a vigil paid to the officer in Toronto and a procession down one of our major highways to the Congress Center, where his life was honored. But it does kind of do this more than anything else. There's sort of a renewed focus on firearms and what firearms should be banned in this country.
Yep. Now, the police haven't officially come out and said it yet, but the pictures of the gunman and the firearm that was laying beside him, and apparently it is an SKS, a Russian-made 10-round magazine semi-automatic rifle.
That was the one in Montreal.
Montreal,
yeah. It's interesting. The emerging consensus right now is that this manifesto they left behind, really, it wasn't really a coherent political document.
Scattered, to say the least.
It was more the ravings of sort of a laundry list of complaints that didn't match up. There wasn't a lot of consistency.
The ideology doesn't really align here. It seems like more of just an angry person.
Misogyny, anti-capitalism, anti-police, anti-pornography, anti-Semitic, and conspiracy thinking in ways that don't form sort of a consistent ideology. And I think the one thing that comes out of this is we need to keep an eye on our friends, neighbors, and family.
Yep.
People who are starting to profess anger through ideology that doesn't match up. Because in the end, this is what it can lead to. And it made me ask this question. Did this man believe in an ideology, or did he simply collect enough grievances to justify violence?
I think the latter is probably the truer statement. You're seeing a lot of this in young people my age in their 40s and down, very angry at the way things are right now. There's a lot of things going on globally, a lot of things just inside of the country. Could even just be in your own township and city. But there's a lot of people that are very angry right now, and I think they're trying to justify their anger, right? So they're looking at maybe these ideologies don't really line up because they're just trying to get mad at anything they can be mad at. And I guess it doesn't matter what your political belief system is. There's a lot to be mad at.
No, but that's a matter of
violence. It's different.
That's a matter of society trying to help individuals see clear. Yes, if all you do is follow the news, society and humanity has gone through enormous pressure and enormous, opposition from the forces around them always, whether it was nature or whether it was war, whether it was starvation or disease. We've made it through as a society, as humanity, by finding solutions to problems together that we will again in times like this. But we need to be reassuring each other and not just giving people the ability to build a laundry list of things that will, in the end, give them a justification for anything that they do, whether it's violence, whether it's going online and perpetrating nonsense. It's really, this is, I think, the calling card on this one for this kind of incel mentality.
Yeah, and you're right about saying like human beings find a way to kind of get through anything and everything, right? We are the diamonds in terms of mammals. We are the hardest surface to break through.
I'm all for the tigers myself. I digress.
Determination is definitely one of our things, but like you said, if there's like a woe is me or a lack of hope, that can lead to blending a lot of these problems together and acting out in a violent way, which I don't think there's a problem that we have on this planet that should result in us going into an industry, from what they've said, the location that he was in was one of the hearts of the pornography industry. The locations down in Montreal.
So what does that mean?
Well, if you believe some of this manifesto that has been reported, it sounds like he had a big problem with that industry.
And this industry is in that area primarily where this went on.
Well, I don't know if it's primarily, but it's in that area.
Was he trying to access one of these places?
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it. We've seen this before. We've seen this in the States, right? With Luigi and the CEO of the insurance company and things like that. This is a movement with youth, right?
It's disturbing to no end.
Yeah,
because, like I say, some critics of this manifesto will tell you, everybody's a critic, by the way, of it, will tell you that it was probably AI generated.
It's a mess.
In a moment of desperate attempt to create some sort of legacy of the need to exercise this violence.
Yeah, and you can compare it to one of the most, a manifesto that's been published numerous times, and one of the most, I guess, probably most read manifestos out there, the Ted Kaczynski. We'll use him for an example, the Unabomber. That was coherent. As much as it was wrong, he was worried about the techno movement and the tech movement coming in. And basically where we're at right now, a lot of the stuff that he had said in that manifesto is where we're at. But it made sense from the beginning to the end in terms of what his ideology was.
His ideology kept a coherence that,
yeah,
I mean, was the writings of a madman.
Well,
actually,
the writings of a madman, but yet a writings of a Harvard grad. Like he was, it was like a blend of, there's a thin line between psycho and brilliance, right? So,
well, let's widen that margin, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think as we watch our neighbors, friends, and colleagues start to mount these manifestos of discussion with us, those are signals that, they're creating an incoherent justification for some method of thinking.
Yeah,
hopefully it's not violent.
If you're phoning a friend or talking to a loved one and you start hearing some of this stuff, this isn't the same as being at a pub in the parking lot and hearing this come out of a conversation with a couple of soda pops behind you. This is something that you can probably catch.
Bradie, I should take a moment and just say a lot of the stuff that I've said to you on the phone in traffic on the way into the office needs to be forgiven right now.
Okay.
Next story, Winnipeg, Manitoba, illegal cigarette trade tied to organized crime. Following Manitoba's record drug investigation, authorities continue to highlight the role of contraband tobacco in financing organized crime. Police say illicit cigarette sales generate enormous profits that are often linked to drug trafficking, weapons offenses, and other criminal enterprises, making the underground tobacco market a growing public safety concern.
Well, here we are again. When I was a young lad, I used to hear about the stories in with the Montreal tobacco mob and all the issues that were going on then, and all of the people that were being attacked and on behalf of that group. And it sounds like 30-something years later, we haven't gotten really far away from
I wonder if we've come back to this.
What is going on with tobacco?
Well, I have to think that in some ways, this might be indicative that the drug market has fallen off. Fentanyl has probably killed a lot of the drug market. Cannabis is legal. These were two major crime operations that were easy to undertake in a warehouse far away. But this is interesting as well. Look at this. Kingston, Ontario, major contraband tobacco seizure. Police announced a major seizure of approximately 171,000 packs of contraband cigarettes, one of the larger tobacco enforcement actions in eastern Ontario. Investigators say the illegal tobacco market deprives governments of tax revenue while providing significant income for organized crime individuals.
There is, and they're not wrong when they say tax revenue. If anybody has ever smoked a pack of cigarettes in the past year here in Canada, the prices of cigarettes are outrageous. And one of the reasons why is maybe it's a deterrent to make you not smoke them, and hats off to that. But a lot of it is because of the taxes. Yeah. So there's a huge markup on packs of cigarettes, right? It doesn't cost much to produce a pack of cigarettes. Doesn't cost much to produce it off the line. But it costs a lot to buy it as a
Okay,
as
well,
consumer.
Let's compare. A pack of contraband cigarettes is how much? Roughly $5 to $6, maybe
Could be anywhere from
$7?
$3 to $11.
$3 to $11. And how much is a government taxed and officiated pack of cigarettes?
But roughly, I think right now in most provinces, $17 to $24. Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's a big markup.
That's a huge amount of markup without the tax man involved.
Yeah.
Let's continue on. Brandon, Manitoba, been there. Traffic stop uncovers drug and